Hi, this is Sofia from Arengu, and today I will show you how to use variables in our platform. What is a variable? With variables, you will be able to connect all the data contained in the forms and in the flows. Variables can be data inputted by the user, metadata obtained from a URL, or output data generated from an action in a flow. Depending on the source of the data, the variables present different syntaxes, but they are all always identified by a unique ID. All variables are written between two curly brackets, and we have several types of variables. Form variables. To reference form data, we use the syntax fields.field_id. These variables are defined by the data entered by the user. An example of this would be to refer to a user by their name, which they just gave us in previous steps. Form variables in flows. If you want to reference form data in a flow, you would need to use the syntax input.body.field_id. A common use of this type of variable is to send the inputted data to your CRM by referencing it in a CRM action or setting the email or phone number entered by a user in a send action to send a temporary code. Output variables from a flow action. These variables allow us to reference output data from the action of a flow. For example, to configure other actions that come after in the flow. The syntax of these variables is action_id dot property_key. Referencing an OTP that was generated in an action to send it in an email would use this type of variable. Note that if it's an HTTP request response, the property key usually comes inside of the body object, so the syntax will be action_id.body.property_key. State variables. To pre-fill or autocomplete fields with data that is already stored in your CRM or from any other services with an API, you will need the state variables. You can reference flow variables in the forms with this syntax, state.property_key. To use this type of variable, you just need to include a store state variable action in the flow, list the output variable you want to store, and set an ID for each one. The autocomplete menu. This menu displays all the available variables, so you only need to select one instead of typing it. You can open it by clicking on the plus button of the settings field, and voila! All the variables from the forms and from the executions are displayed. Navigating this menu is very easy. You can use the search bar to locate the variable by its ID. Note that for any output variable to be available, you will need to run the flow once. To do this, go to the form preview and enter data to test it, to generate the output variables. Some tips. First of all, define friendly IDs that explains truly what is the action or the field that you are creating. Do not use default IDs. Otherwise, it would be impossible to understand later on what your forms and flows are doing or the reason why they could be failing. Secondly, if you later change any IDs, all the references that you had already set will be broken. Change the ID right after creating the action or field. And lastly, use the debugger. In the executions, you can check the whole working process of your forms and flows. You will know if you are getting and sending the expected data. If you have any questions or need help, contact us. In the video description, you can find a tutorial about variables that can be useful for you. Thank you for watching!